Time moves forward, second by second, day by day. Tomorrow always comes. But imagine waking up one morning and discovering something impossible. Tomorrow no longer exists. Not because the world ended, but because your calendar skipped it. And somehow, you were the only one who noticed. Evan Carter lived a quiet, predictable life. Every morning began the same way. Coffee, a quick glance at his wall calendar, and a small check mark through the previous day. It was a simple habit he had followed for years. But one morning in early October, something strange happened. Evan tore off the page for October 12th. The next page should have been October 13th. Instead, it read October 14th. He frowned. Maybe he skipped a page accidentally. But when he searched the trash can, October 13th wasn't there. In fact, it didn't exist anywhere. At first, Evan thought the calendar was misprinted. Manufacturing errors happen. But when he checked his phone, the date also read October 14th. Confused, he checked the news, the weather forecast, his work schedule. Everything moved forward as if October 13th had already passed. But Evan was certain of one thing. Yesterday had been October 12th. There had been no 13th. The world had skipped a day. Evan asked people at work what they had done yesterday. Every answer sounded normal. One coworker mentioned grocery shopping. Another talked about watching a football game. To them, October 13th had happened exactly as expected. But Evan had no memory of it. No receipts. No messages. No evidence the day had ever existed for him. Even stranger, his calendar still showed the missing space. A blank gap where October 13th should have been. As if time itself had forgotten to fill it in. Evan tried to ignore it. He blamed stress, lack of sleep. But 3 weeks later, it happened again. He went to bed on November 4th. The next morning, the calendar showed November 6th. Tomorrow had disappeared again. Now panic began to creep into his thoughts. Because if tomorrow could vanish, what else could disappear? Evan started tracking every date carefully, writing them in notebooks, marking them on his phone, watching the calendar every night before bed. Eventually, he noticed something disturbing. The skipped days were not random. They always occurred before something important. One skipped day happened before a plane crash reported on the news. Another vanished the night before a factory explosion downtown. It was as if the missing day had contained something terrible, something time itself had decided to erase. But the question haunted him. If the world erased those days, why did he remember losing them? One night, unable to sleep, Evan stared at the calendar again. Another blank space had appeared. Tomorrow was missing again. But this time something new had appeared in the empty square. Words. Small, faint, handwritten words. They read, "You were not meant to see this." His breath stopped. Another line slowly appeared beneath it. Tomorrow is where mistakes happen. Evan waited for midnight. The clock ticked closer to the next day. 11:59 p.m. The calendar page began to shift slightly in the quiet room. The blank square grew darker. Then one final sentence appeared. Tomorrow will be removed again. But this time, so will you. The clock struck midnight. And when the new page flipped over, the date read 2 days later. But Evan Carter was gone. No messages. No records. No memory of him among friends or co-workers. Only one thing remained in his empty apartment. A calendar hanging on the wall, with a blank space where tomorrow should have been, waiting for the next person who notices. Most people worry about what tomorrow might bring. But somewhere, there is a calendar that has already decided. Tomorrow should never arrive. Thank you for watching. Please follow Lausanne Vault on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube for more interesting stories.